Brethren, I want to talk to you about something. The real Christian becomes the villain in the world's eyes. Really think about that for a moment. Now, I'm not talking about people who preach hate speech and are a terrorist and do terrorist acts like Steven Anderson and many other people who are so consumed with attention and being self-centered. No, no. The real Christians become the worst villains in the world's eyes. Does religion of the world tell the whole truth? Of course not. What have they done with it? If you're looking at me, I'm usually either at work or at home studying. Who did you leave the truth with? Your friends in the church building? Assuming, of course, they are still your friends. Does it depress you, brethren, to realize just how alone you really are? It's a shame, isn't it? When people don't even realize it, they are alone. So you think these denominations have made the United States a better place? I mean, look at the 62 different circles of Baptists and the fighting they are doing. This is how crazy religion made the U.S. and us as people. I mean, you want order in this place? Freedom of religion needed to be destroyed at the time of the revolution. That's what the founding fathers should have done. Sadly, it's too late to correct it now. And every day it goes uncorrected, people will die of starvation for the truth. Religion does what it does best. Turns your little plan to save America, bring in the kingdom, defeat Satan, yada yada, and turns it against itself. But you know what I've noticed in the past years? Nobody panics when things go according to plan. Even if the plan is horrifying and against the Bible. If tomorrow a preacher stands up and tells their church that an offering will be given to a missionary, or that the pastor is getting a raise, nobody panics, because it's all according to plan. Tradition, in other words. But when a man states that the Lord is very displeased with the traditional rituals and beliefs in these so-called Christian church buildings, Christian churches, then everyone loses their minds. And they cast the man out and brand him as a heretic, or shun him at least. Just like they threw out Jesus Christ and crucified him. Interesting, is it not? A little advice for you preachers who are big about having the preacher spotlight. Never scream at the head at the congregation. The victim gets all fuzzy and they can't feel the next punishment. But it's interesting to see what they scream and yell from pulpits across America. And they don't disappoint. It's the same results. They let people die of starvation for the word, or make them leave with their righteous yelling. Then eventually a split happens because he didn't take the initiative. I mean, even to a guy like me, that's cold. Or maybe we shouldn't do away with all this yelling from pulpits. I mean, what would I do without it? We all need a good laugh, right? When the circus is in town. Think about it. People state that I'm an arrogant, self-righteous, big-headed bigot. Look, brethren, don't talk or sound like one of them self-righteous Pharisees. You're not supposed to fit into their mold. Even if you'd like to be. The fact is, brethren, to you, true biblical Christian brethren, to these churchgoers, to them you're just a pawn in their pew. Why do you still go to their church building? A preaching, hearing, tithe-giving, church rules abiding, quiet in the pew living pawn. They pretend to need you and love you for the time being. But if you get your head straight about what the Bible actually states, your doctrine will be fine-tuned, and then it will please God, and then you're headed for trouble. When they find out, they'll cast you out, like a leper. You see, religion of the world in these church buildings, these people, their code, their morals, creeds, professed unity, traditional beliefs, being held for years. It's all a bad joke. They claim to believe the scripture, then it's dropped and cast away at the first sign of trouble. You are the big problem in their eyes. They are only as good as Satan allows them to be. Time will show you, brethren, when the chips are down, these civilized, professing Christian people will eat each other alive. With all their gossips, backbiting, and two-faced demeanor, it's inevitable. You see, ladies and gentlemen and brethren, I'm not a monster. I'm just ahead of the game and tell it like it is. I played the game for 15 years. It's reality whether you see it or not. I mean, look at them. Killing is a choice. They choose between one life or the other, all depending on who can give more money or support. The problem is, churches have all these rules, traditions, rituals, creeds, and these people think that list will save them. You see, people want to live in the past and make everything the way things were. But I know the truth, and so do you. There's no going back. Time has changed things forever until Christ returns. You see, religion only has one main rule: blind obedience. And that's the rule you will have to break to know the truth. John 8:31-32. Then said Jesus to those Jews which believed on him, If you continue in my word, then are ye my disciples indeed, and ye shall know the truth, and the truth shall make you free. Is that just an accident? Free from what? The traditions, rituals, creeds, and rules of religion of the world. The only sensible way to live for God is without all these rules that are contrary to his law. I live by one rule, one standard, the Bible. I have a book of instruction that's good enough for me. Soon you'll have to choose if you're going to break that one rule of religion to know the truth. Are you considering it? If not, then you're going to have to play religion's little game. If you want to be the dry and comfortable, lukewarm, pew warmer. But be careful and brace yourself. God will spew you out. Oh, you pew warmers. You just can't let it go, can you? This is what happens when an unstoppable religion force meets an immovable object in comfort. You truly are deceived, aren't you? You won't walk away from the tradition disease because of self-righteousness. And I can't convince you because you are having too much fun in your lawlessness. You may even want to do this forever. You put yourself in a padded cell of comfort and lock the door from the inside. You think your church building is full of people who believe in good? Only until their spirit breaks completely and they get a good look at the real ugliness in their doctrine. We must take religion's self-exalted ego and expose it down to its true level. It isn't hard to do. You see, false doctrine is like gravity. All it takes is a little push, and watch it fall like a rock. Brethren, get out of these church buildings. Quit being the victim of the rest of these people who are willfully ignorant and willfully deceived and don't want the truth. Get out of the church building. Read the Bible for yourself. Break that one rule of religion to know that truth. And that truth is in the Bible itself.